Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore, website at the bottom, llewellyn.com, and there's a couple other social media links. Feel free to check that out if you want to. Supportive Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. There are some websites in the back heel on the back of the box. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you're interested. Here's a couple other things. Colette's website is at the end of the paragraph with her face on it, her picture. Brain is already disconnecting. That's great. Other information there if you want to freeze frame and check that out, of course. And last but not least, about the illustrator, Jenna. Freeze frame if you want to read all through that, and hopefully you can see all the information if I get it all on camera. Okay. What do we have for Taurus? Well, let's get through them all first before we get too excited. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I think this is going to go well. We just got to get there first. This might be one of those situations where I don't think it ever technically goes bad. So if you're reading it on paper and you're seeing how things progressed forward, it never goes bad. But there's a couple points in the future that I feel like you're going to be like, oh boy, what are we doing? Okay, so how did you get here? How did you get in this situation? I feel like that matters. Did you want to, or did you get sucked into it? Two of Fire upside down? I don't think you chose. Two of Fire upside down is telling me I don't think you chose, but the 19 is the Sun card. So this might be... I feel like I had to be a part of this. This could be a work situation where I just got to do what I got to do. Could be a family situation in the sense of like, oh, well, I'm not going to let it fail, so I'm going to be a part of it. Could be a friend situation. If you're a part of this situation, I feel like you felt like you had to. Hey, excuse me. Yeah, I know. Is there more with this? You did make choices as soon as you got into it. But it kind of felt like, well, if I don't, this is going to be a problem. So it's kind of like, before this becomes a problem, I'm going to do what I can to keep it from being a problem because I see where this is going. Okay. I almost feel like it's unfortunate that you weren't wrong. You saw where this is going. You weren't wrong. And it's starting to show up, like, yep, I was pretty sure this is where this was going. It's ironic, because it's one of those things where if you were wrong in a positive way, you're like, if this was going to go better than I thought it was, great. But that's not, no, you knew where this was going, and you were right. I feel like you've been very careful and very quiet about the situation. You've been trying to let it kind of go in a better way if possible, just it's not looking like that. But you've been planning. You've been definitely planning. I feel like you've been very careful and cautious, though. You haven't been talking about it all that much. You got the Queen of Cups here. Don't get caught up in the gender, but you've been definitely keeping to yourself and making plans and, like, kind of getting it ready, kind of getting people prepared without them realizing you were getting them prepared. Not in a bad way, but kind of like, just in case it doesn't happen, I'm not going to get them to expect anything, but I'll have them in place if I need them to be certain supports to this situation. When this all starts happening like you kind of knew it was, there's still that nervous energy of kind of like, I have a plan, but if people get in my way unexpectedly, we could have issues. I'm not really sure. I'm feeling good about it, but I don't feel like anything's guaranteed. I feel like that's where the energy is. Like, I don't feel guaranteed, but, you know, let's see what happens next. there's like this judgment energy around you. My first reaction to this is like to be aware of it, but not to buy into it. You may have to position people to keep this from becoming a problem, but let other people deal with that. There's some type of judgment energy, something around you where people are like judging it or something, or people have attitudes about it, or people are like, oh yeah, so that's what Taurus did, huh? You know, Taurus could have probably done better with that. And I see that people are like scrutinizing things and having like their opinions. If you can have somebody else deal with that, have somebody else deal with that. This can be a very draining energy. I think that's why we're talking about it now. It's too draining. It's a draining energy. Other people might be more successful at like deflecting that. Let other people deflect that. Don't buy into this too much. Be aware of it, but let other people handle it if you can. It's too draining. You have other things to do. And it's taking energy away from where it needs to go. So be aware of that, because you can't afford to let that dampen what you're doing. You have other things that are more important than that judgment energy. So let other people handle that. I feel like other people can. Other people can at least keep it occupied so that it stays out of your way, and let that happen that way. Advice-wise, your plan, you're going to move it forward. I feel like you're going to stabilize this the way you need to. Don't get caught up in the gender, but this is you having control in the way that you need to. Will you have total control? You'll know if you will or not. Most of you probably not. But control of what you need to have control of, you will, if that makes sense. You're going to have to control. There's going to be boundaries. I know this. I feel like you're going to have boundaries. There's certain things that you're going to be very generous with, and other things that you're not. You know where to apply that. This plan will work out however you need it to. Certain people are going to be kind of shocked because they're going to be on the outside of the situation. Certain people are going to be shocked because they're on the outside of the situation. That's for the best. I don't see them complaining to you directly. That might be part of that scrutinization, whatever, if I'm making up words or not. People are shocked at what you're doing. They're also shocked that they're not a part of it. Let that just be leave that to itself. You're going to hear stuff about that, but I feel like it's better to deflect it while you're fixing things. Deflect it. Play the I'll get back to you card if you can, or sorry, I'm in the middle of something, can't respond to that right now, talk to you later, that type of thing. Don't let these things get in your way. If you allow them to get in your way, it's gonna damage your outcome. Especially when I see like the change is happening, it's gonna happen. People don't see the point in what you're doing. I feel like that's for the best. For some people, just don't see the point in what you're doing. That's fine. As long as you stay out of the way, whatever. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going. You see the point. This isn't the time to explain it. Just do what you got to do. Because I feel like the proof will be in the pudding. Like when it's all taken care of, it'll make more sense. This isn't the time to explain it to others, is what I'm getting. This is not the time. You're going to get the outcome, the best outcome you could expect. I feel like it's going to be even better than you expect. So, are you going to have the perfect outcome? No, absolutely not. But can it be better than you expect? Yes. I feel like for Taurus, this is a great win in the sense of like, it went better than I thought it would. I feel like you know what that means. There's energy here coming in after it's been reestablished. There is support from unexpected places. Other people might take this over. Whatever this is, other people might take it over. I feel like that's good, but Yeah, I don't think you're going to have a hard time with that. Other people are going to take this over. You got the Death card and you got the Knight of Swords. Other people might take this over. I don't think that's going to be bad for you. I feel like they're just giving you a heads up about this. for whatever that means. Because I feel like this is a good thing. Your energy is going to go from the king down to the page, which is a dramatic difference. But I'm also getting the Sun Dancers is saying this is going to be really good for you. As long as you see it coming and you're aware that that could happen, it could make this a lot easier on you. Especially because Taurus takes responsibility extremely to heart. Extremely, like, serious. Responsibility is very serious, very, very, very serious thing to Taurus, to the point where if somebody asked you to do something, it could be as minimal as pick up the mail and just grab a couple groceries. When you invest in that and you move your schedule around to make that happen, that's extremely important to you. Other people might be like, oh, it's just a little thing. To you, it's like, no, this is like, shows that you can depend on me. This shows that when I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It may be menial to some people, but I took on that responsibility and I plan to do it. And I feel like that's a very, very big character, like, piece of your character. Like, a responsibility is very important to you. It could be even if it's a little one, that's serious to you. If you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. You wouldn't just be like, oh, it's just mail, so what? I get it, I don't. It's not usually Taurus. Taurus is like, I said I'm going to do it, therefore it is done. If you see this change coming in and you're aware of, like, I might have to change my responsibilities, I might have to change my level of connection here, I might have to hand this over to somebody else, you can prepare going forward, kind of like, in case I need to hand this over to somebody else, I have all my ducks in a row that I can make peace with this change before it happens. So it's like, if somebody else is going to take this over, I'm going to be able to explain to them, or like maybe at least hand them a document saying, this is what I was doing and this is why I was doing it. So just so you know, all right, you're taking this over, but this is all the reasons of not only what I was doing, but why I was doing it, so you realize there was a good reason for it. Maybe you can build from that. It's all about you knowing it's coming. I don't see you're going to be really upset with letting it go, as long as it's like makes sense and you can like release that responsibility in a peaceful way. And that's kind of where that energy is ending. Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.